Hello. Start the stream a little bit early. View these highlights for a few minutes, and I'll get some music going, and then we'll dive into this first game of ECU Tigers versus the University of Arkansas.
With Wix. For your words, create your brand, your opportunity, your breakthrough. Feeling
Mic check,
the
mic
vibe?
check.
Run with it.
Hello,
From
mic check.
can't look away to gotta have it. Make every detail.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Because in a Chevy truck, dependability comes standard. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hello. Hello. Playing Harding University. Again, I wonder how chat's doing. Nope. There's a camera at. Oh, that's good. That's good. Sideways angle. I'll be looking at it here in a second. Who's that? What do we got here? Which activity thing? Huh.
Are you logged into Riot yet?
Yeah.
Look at Riot name. It's free top. It's the server. Hashtag dust. Okay. Alright. You're gonna an invite from Eternal Frost.
Okay.
That zoom thingy is Control Shift D.
Oh, to zoom the map out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I told him about that.
In the parking, get out of here. Alright, you should have an invite from Wolf Riot. And he should invite you to lobby. I don't know if you can right click his name and do request, but. Oh yeah, join party, see if it lets you. Just do send message and ask him to invite you. Please. Did you already fix the title and everything? Okay. Yo. You just gotta move this thing. Yep. All right, you're all set. Cool.
Are they got a silver forward? They're about to get whooped up on.
Yeah.
Other. welcome back. We're getting it going. Look up Harding real quick. Not William J. Harding. Oops. Oh no, we're playing University of Arkansas. Reset dots. What up, man?
Looks like I'll be joining you for the first game.
Great. How do I get back to fix this stream title?
The stream title,
Because it was over here, and I took it off. I set it and took it off like an idiot. But it should be in this menu here.
it should be in stream information.
Get there. Because we're not playing.
Oh, that is
Alrighty.
really old.
Are we playing UARC?
Yes.
Onyx. Cool. Set it. Forget it, right? There we go. Let me just.
We play Harding tomorrow.
Here we go. Yeah. Volume's good, mic's good. Let's see, we're University of Arkansas. We looked at those in the past. We've played them. See if anything else is piping back.
We did play them. I think they were our first placement match.
They played Kel top lane.
Yes, and they did not do very well. Who kept top lane?
Right, as that's hard. Like the Kel they did well, but like that team, they didn't execute well enough.
Yeah, the Kale
It's a club.
had a little too much dip on their chip that game.
Yeah, they got that chip got snapped. That was a fun game. I hope we get to see this again.
Granted, by the point I started doing super well into them, and there wasn't much they could do after that. So
Yeah, the Zach top lane was pretty beefy.
yeah, Kale was very feast or famine. Zach top has been nerfed a couple times in recent memory, and they haven't really touched it in like the past year. But it's been like average as opposed to super duper broken. It's usually just one tricks like me playing it though.
Yeah. And restarting some PCs, I guess, before we get started.
It wouldn't be ECU Esports without some sort of technical difficulty before we get started. And at least we got the new
This
ones.
year,
It's probably
there
just
are 4
a
exciting new
Riot
iPhones to
client
choose from,
issue.
including a brand new addition joining the
Usually
lineup.
happens.
There's the new iPhone
Yeah.
17,
Yeah,
the groundbreaking iPhone Air, a completely new member to the iPhone family, and finally, iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max.
It has to
iPhone
awkwardly
17 comes in
go over your
Sage,
lap.
Mist
Yeah.
Blue,
We'll wait for that, I reckon.
Is it even allowed for a coach to be one of the players?
Is that what's happening?
I guess so, because like on the League OS screen, it shows that the 1997 salesman guy is one of the choose none. That'll be the spectator.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of be a first come first serve on the top laner basis. I got here late because something came up at work. So
Okay.
and Coda was already logged in by the time I got here. So I said, "Hey, you got the setup that has the new mouses on it. So I'm just gonna tag out and then get on that computer after you're done."
Sounds good. I think it's great to have like a position where you have two people that are confident
Mhm.
that you can just throw in either game. series and just kind of play.
Yeah, and both of our play styles are versatile for different reasons. We have pretty solid picks, if I do say so myself. We're trying to expand our horizons just a little bit more, just to squeeze some more ideas into our team comps. But
Right.
so far, our composition has been pretty solid. We're trying to sneak some more AP picks in there because me and Codis usually play like AD bruisers and AD leaning tanks. Like Mundo does primarily AD damage. Pretty much all my picks do AD except for like Horn, Cho'Gath. But we're trying to get some new things in there and
Right.
hopefully be versatile enough for Fearless, because this was Fearless Draft. I think we're voting to suspend Fearless Draft from Great American Conference, so I don't think that'll be a thing tomorrow, but it will be tonight.
Oh, y'all are voting to get rid of Fearless?
Cody voted in favor of it. It's just all the coaches of the Great American Conference got together and they
Chickened out, voted against it.
they chickened out. It was 2-3 so far, 2 in favor, 3 against. So I'm hoping that other coaches have a change of heart or something, but so far it's looking like it's not going to be Fearless for Great American, which makes sense. There's not really much seeding going on because it's more local. So smaller schools, you're not going to get a giant team with a bunch of subs or higher ranked teams. So Harding, they voted against it. They have one guy who is Grandmaster Peak, another guy who's Diamond Peak, and the rest are gold, silver, or below. So it's kind of pointing to the caliber of player. Like some people are prepared for that, but others aren't. Because when you're silver, you're pretty much still learning the game.
Correct.
So you're gonna try and isolate yourself to just a few picks.
Like at silver, I feel like you're gonna have one that you're still learning, and like that's your main champion. But you're gonna have like another pick in case it gets banned out or just uber countered, just like right.
So when I first started the game, I only played one champion because I thought he was awesome. I played Thresh. I climbed all the way to like bronze 2, and I realized, hey, I can't do much from the support role. I can't do much with just one champion. I'm going to broaden my horizons a little bit. I started playing mid. I picked up Galio, found out he was flexible support as well.
Yeah.
Climbed up to gold. I played Aurelion Soul back before the changes because he was super fun, and I got really good at him. I climbed to plat by that point, and plat is when I made the switch to top lane, and I climbed up to emerald. So top lane has just been my home ever since. I've had the most games on it, even after I don't even know how long, but most of my high mastery champs are all top laners. So it's good to broaden your horizons and expand your champ pool, but some people aren't prepared for that yet because they're still pretty much learning the game.
Yeah. That's the competitive nature of the game, even when they don't have Fearless, right? So like teams will come in and they'll try to ban out. They'll be like, well, sometimes I've seen like scenarios where they'll be like, well, who's the weakest link on the team? And they'll just ban like the 3 champions that player knows how to play.
Right.
And so they're forced to play something that they're just not comfortable on, and they'll try to take advantage of them that way. Or you'll have somebody that's so great on your team. They'll try to like ban out the top 2 of the best player on the team, and then try to take like an influential role and ban a couple as well, right?
Right.
I guess there's a couple different strategies to banning things out. But that's what I love about Fearless, because like if you've watched it, like whatever's like broken, they'll just ban that out no matter what, or like the first team will pick it, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. It's just that's what the extreme competitive goes. But like in these college games, like you said, it's silver to emerald. So I've seen a masters and diamonds in the games. Nothing much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as a silver, I think it's great that you're a top laner. I myself play top lane or solo lane in other MOBAs. The first season I played League, I landed at gold 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the next season, this was like back in 2010 or 2011. This was a long time ago when League was first out. There wasn't that many champions, but I I did never climb that high. I was one that always played a bunch of different things.
Mhm.
Played a bunch of different champions. I couldn't just, I get bored.
Yeah.
After a few matches, I'll go and slay a couple games, get whooped a couple games, try something else, So when I see Fearless, I get excited. But if they take it away, it's still League of Legends. It's still exciting, right? This Fearless is just something that new that came about like at the beginning of this year, right?
Yeah, they tried to target that towards pro play. I I found that they pushed out a lot of surveys after Worlds went on last year, and one of those survey questions, or at least one of the ones I got, it was, do you feel like you see more of the same champions or less of the same champions? And I answered obviously more, because there's a very clear meta when it comes to pro play and like their team composition. They find something that works and they stick to it, and multiple teams do this. So you see a lot of the same champions either picking or banning. So they're sharing picks between a lot of champions, and this is just Riot's way of trying to broaden the horizons of pro play and have more diverse team compositions, and it'll be more exciting to see how teams adapt to this. And so far, any pro play draft has just been really exciting to see, because they're pulling out stuff that we haven't seen in ages, and I'm just all for it.
I have to agree. When I started viewing League again and playing again this summer for a little bit, I come back and I just see they're playing champions that I played, 14, 12 years ago. They're playing Jarvan. They're playing Ashe. They're playing, what else are they playing? Darius is still prevalent. I've seen Garen played. Even Garen was played in some pro games. And I'm just like, has it changed that much, or what's going on here? I don't know. It's exciting to see that. And then, they'll pull out these new champions, and I have no idea what it does. What's going on? When you play in that, you're like, what the heck? Well, I banned that. I seen Gwen, and I was playing Mundo, and I seen Gwen. She just whooped me in top lane. I was like, I don't know. I banned that.
That's what we like to call trauma bans. I will agree that there is a very clear difference, and there's like a shift from early champions to champions being released now. Like if you just hover your mouse over any of their abilities, it used to be like a sentence or two followed by like what it does and like just the basic stats of it. Meanwhile, if you have like especially passives with newer champions, they're like an entire paragraph long. You can't just pop in a game, read their abilities, and be like, oh, I can do this. It takes a lot more to it. The season 1 champions are very, very easy, and the newer champions are getting harder and harder. Like Hui, you have so many different abilities. Like before, it was just tied to the main 4, but now you have different modifiers that you can apply to your QWE and R, and or not R, but QW and E, and it just changes the way that ability behaves. That's just unheard of, and it's kind of cool to see how they've changed the easier season 1 champions in response. Some champions have been kind of untouched, but other champions have gotten like a mini rework or like changes in their passives or their scalings to help them kind of keep up with the newer champions and the more complicated kits. So it's interesting to see how Riot's balancing this. I will say some champions have been completely untouched. Like I said earlier, one of the champions that I play, Trendamir, love him to death. He has not been touched since his release, apart from like one small mini rework. The fundamentals of his kit has not changed whatsoever. They have not touched that champion since 2009 in his release.
Let's chase everybody around, slow them, making them balk like a chicken, and hitting them really hard with his big sword for crits, and healing and being invincible. That's Trendemir's kit, right?
Yeah, he was considered overloaded at the time, and he was released as a jungle champion. It's cool to see how champions over time have changed from Riot's intended purpose. Like Riot August said, Vi was intended to be a top laner, and that didn't work out. When Nautilus first released, he was intended to be a jungler, but that was more kind of the era where champions didn't really lean towards a specific role, but they just kind of fell into place there. Jungle was just Nautilus's place. and there was a pro player, I can't remember his name. He debuted it as a support, and he was doing super well. So everybody else started playing it, and it just sort of shifted to a completely different play style. But there was a brief period during season 11 when Mythic Items released where he was super good in jungle again. But other than that, it's just fun to see how pro players can take something and put it somewhere else or apply it in a different way, and it just changes the game. Literally, everybody plays it differently after that point.
Oh yeah. But in top lane, being so matchup dependent, being on an island, you can see like in solo lane or just classic play, you'll see it. The craziest picks top lane, right? Could just be a gambit from Kale to Teemo to Nautilus to AP Zinzao to AB Nidalee. Annie top lane. Lee Sin's been. There was a point in League of Legends time when Rengar was a top lane pick with Randans.
I hated that time. That was
You can play
tragic.
Vayne top lane. You can play anything top lane if you're because top lane's so.
Mhm.
If you stomp and you're ahead, you're pushing for pressure, right? But if
Y'all
you're
up to speed on what's going on.
Some kind of computer issue on there.
apparently someone on the University of Arkansas team is not able to connect to their Riot account, so we're having a little bit. They're having Arkansas's having a little bit of technical difficulties. We're trying to get that sorted out. Hopefully, we can get some league going.
There is an echo. I have no idea how we would fix that.
What kind of
Is that an echo on all sound, like the desktop sounds and everything, or is it just mic? We might take a minute before we get a response from that because stream delay and all, but we can fix it eventually. We got time.
Yeah, as a top laner, you're getting priority. You got to counter the enemy top laner. You're pushing. Their jungler can't respond or has to respond, but then you're strong. You can get so far ahead that you just win the game.
If you don't want to DQ us,
Sleepy.
that's understandable. For those of you who don't know, last year you are disqualified Brecken on a technicality, and so somebody else had to step in to play for him, and we just have a lot of baggage with these guys. I understand if the team wants to disqualify them, but I have a feeling that they want to win the right way. Okay, we're playing very by the book here. I appreciate it. After what they did to us, we've kind of been playing very, very close to the rules, as close as we can, every single game, just so it won't happen again. And we've been holding them to that same standard.
Just making sure we abide by the NECC rules.
Yeah, I would like to not get disqualified on a technicality again. So we're holding very true to their doctrine. Hard precious the waiting game and keeping people entertained until then. Have you all played Laldl on the stream yet?
No, I've seen some people play LOL.
It's like a World but League.
League of Legends dual Wordle. Classic? What are we doing here?
We can go down the line. Like we start with Classic and then we can just go down by which one. So you start with any champion, and you guess based on like their lore and their like gender, abilities, mana or not, and like release year.
So it's mana.
So it is 2009. So that narrows it down.
Yeah.
Not female. It's not ranged either.
Yeah, melee. I mean, Garen doesn't have mana, does he?
He does not. Did Alistair release in 2009 or was it 2010?
It's half human, half something else. It's not a support. It's not a middle.
It is melee, but he was 2009. Maybe Darius? Darius is completely human. Oh, good call.
Close. Close with the singed. Darius, I think?
Chemically altered.
It's,
Oh, so it is completely human.
and it's top lane
His top lane
with mana.
with mana. Was Olaf released then, or was that later?
Olaf was there.
Oh,
But it's,
close.
it's human.
Oh, it's 2010.
Or that
Human.
pure human top laner. Jax?
Yeah, it might be Jax. It's still considered jungle top. Species unknown. Nice.
Oh, sorry, Jax. Who else, man?
I'm trying to rack my brain for top champions in 2009.
Jax.
Mundo was pretty
Chemically
recent.
altered.
Yeah.
Health costs, not mana, but it's around that same time. I feel like if I could just name all the top players.
I keep forgetting Mundo's not a recent champion. Because of the big rework. Shoot, what is a top laner that would have been then? I'd take a free win too. Yeah, we know. That was the guy that brought it up. The very same guy.
Okay. Well, it won't be Renekton.
Won't be Renekton. Yeah, he's rage.
I tried
Or Fury.
Yeah.
Mm,
I like Jax, but not Jax, not Fiora.
yeah, because Fiora was later.
But it's male.
Scion? Wait, would it be? Yeah, because he's not.
Species
Really?
human.
He used to be human.
It's not Garen.
Yeah, because Garen is completely manless.
He's older than Garen.
Maybe something Shadow Isles related. No, it's not Shadow Isles. Did we get a hit at any point on the region? No, we did not. We got Noxus, Shadow Isles, that Ionia is on. Athia, which would mean it would have to be. What region would that be?
I don't know. I'm not very good at this.
Gangplank, maybe? Hey! That was like literally the last region we could have picked.
I don't know. What's the region?
That would be Bilgewater.
Okay.
It's like the. And then press quote, and it'll just take you down the line with each one. Too tall, much too tall.
Is that someone saying that because they're tall, or is that someone short saying it?
Might be a Yordle.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe Heimerdinger?
Ah.
I think I've played any champion that says this.
Oh, it's tough. What are they doing?
ACC announcement. Probably they're just working with Riot or something.
This is tough. Is there like a hint?
Yeah, once you guess a certain amount of times, it gives you like a clue. Like the audio clue gets unlocked in 3 tries. So we just need to guess 3 more. What would be something related to the size? Not Galileo, not Cho'Gath. I think I've heard every voice line those champions have. All right, let's hear it.
Too tall. Much too tall.
Is that Lulu? Okay,
It was a Yordle though.
I figure it would be some kind of short champion.
What champion has this ability?
Maybe Mel? That ability looks familiar, I just can't tell because of the color. Looks like it would be some kind of shield.
It does.
Maybe Pantheon?
Fisted weapon.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. This is the hard one today. What's the clue?
Terrace shape.
Oh, that'd be Talia or something. No.
Terrace shape.
Something related to the
Earth.
Earth. Oh, Kiana, I'm stupid.
Ah.
That'd be her W, I think.
What?
Copyright. So you guess a champion and then it unlocks the next hint. And it gives you an emoji. You mean Silas? Yay! And then the splash art. One of the Star Guardians. Is that Syndra? Yay!
You're pretty good at that, not me.
Star Guardian. And then you just type the... Yay! We did it. Okay, I think we have some kind of update. They're typing up a storm in there. 11 to 12? Dang.
Man, you
We're unloading.
Arkansas boys.
Unloading all sorts of personal baggage here.
Yeah, y'all just start picking. Nah, talk about scrims, but
I mean, if you're not prepared to play, just say that. We can.
yeah. We can figure it out. It's the thing is the guy said he can't log on his main and he's just going to log on a Smurf account. But the thing is, the NECC rule is you have to play on your main account so that we know it's you. Like, there's no issues
at that point
that you're cheating.
At that point, we're just on honor system. Like, I wonder what if he's getting like an error code or something. The emergency. Okay, we're just having too much fun now. Tuesday's like the only day that really works for us.
I'll maybe come back Tuesday. time that Arkansas boys get it together.
Well, we're playing another Arkansas team tomorrow, and they were pretty straightforward with the scheduling because I know their two of their players personally, so it was pretty easy to shoot them a message and be like, "Hey, this day work for y'all." Reinstalls by 8 want to run it normally. Are we just stalling at this point? Because that's
Yeah, for real.
that's a little too long to wait. I don't want to wait for 25 minutes until.
I mean, whoever I commentate on, right? The JV starts at 8, but you know, it is what it is.
I would kiss all of you personally. That would spread some kind of germ that I don't want to have. So no, thank you.
We'll walk away on that note. Just leave right. Well, until we figure this out, maybe we'll go back to some highlights. Mute our mic.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Because in a Chevy truck, dependability comes standard. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Fill your bagel? Of course. Fill your potatoes, eggs, and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Fill it.
To New Mexico State Black.
Yeah, that's at least what it says right there.
Get situated, man. How do I swap it back?
Swap what back? Oh, over here, the NEC loan. We're still muted? No, we're not.
No, we're off mute.
Sweet.
Want me to mute?
No, we're good. We are back with some JV action. Varsity is still taking a little longer to get started, so we're just going to jump right into it with JV. We currently have our draft getting set up right now, and they are set to start soon, so just whenever the players are ready, they're going to jump right into it. I did some talking with Cole, and I am hoping and praying he's going to play what I think he's going to play. So we will see what they decide on. I've been having some top laner to top laner talks with Cole, and we're getting things figured out right now.
How do I switch this?
Switch that.
Not sure how to swap it.
Be this piece, right? That's, okay, so it's that one.
Target Circle Week's big deals and more are back. Good news for Circle members.
Send me a URL
If
code.
you're not, 'cause Circle is free.
It might be.
Deals at 40% off.
It looks like it's just a snip of a certain
Days of big deals.
page.
Restrictions apply.
It's a snip, but you gotta go. We gotta go to the JV one of those. You have a snip.
Oh, I hate this. Why does it look like this? Do you remember which one?
It's one of these is saved.
I think it might be Bros. Yeah, that's it. The question is, how do we get that up there?
You gotta copy. You gotta copy something from here and import it into the URL code. Or it's like this.
Might be this one. Let me check. Well, is that the full one?
I'm not sure.
The overlays .legos. Let's see. Perhaps? Nope, I broke it.
Oh,
This is why I'm not allowed to touch things. Was overlays the OS, right? Just trying to. No, maybe. Let's get Cody in on this. I have no idea.
Maybe League should already have a scene collection.
I think I accidentally broke the birthday one.
Oh, that's okay. Bodhi will come in. Yeah, the scene collections are up here. And Lol JV. So it should have already been set up.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, New Mexico State Black is correct. Oh, wait, no. No, that one's not right. So what you're going to do is go over here to the... Scroll up here a little bit. Resources, yeah. And then the overlays. Right here's that. Now matching up which one's which is kind of annoying. I know the match overlay is the one that goes at the top, and the scores is the other one. So you
Okay,
just
so-
copy those.
Yeah, go back to the scores and
Double
then
click that.
properties, and then just copy and paste that here.
Yeah, and you can kind of see which one it is, but they're not labeled real well.
There we go.
thank you.
All right, good deal. I think I'm caught
Still
on.
not swap between games, but that's for the match one he said, right?
Yeah,
It's on.
I think I'm.
It's caught on my dad. All right, well, hardware issues, little cabling.
All right, back into it. I think it opened on Edge. It'll be on the bottom right there. There we go. Okay, back to it. Okay, looks like New Mexico State readied up already. We're just waiting on ECU.
A Stream Deck. Where did he make these at?
There's just like a bunch of things you can add to it, but
Yeah. Got the mute button. See, that's what the mute button's for right there. Welcome back to the action, hopefully pretty soon. We got a draft
I was trying
link.
to stick on the screen.
We got a draft link for these two teams here. We are in order. Love to hear that. Okay, how's the draft link? We got it. Let's get her started.
Scoopy.
Old Scooby Poo, Brown Goldfish, Nicodemus 5, Lil Dom, 2 ounce or 2s, 2 OZ Twas versus Goat Milk Enjoyer, Limit Test, Maya, King Twitch, and LWK Sleepy. This is the. I know this is the JV for ECU. Is this the? Do you know if this is the varsity or JV team for New Mexico State Black?
It might be their varsity. I'm not 100% sure. We have played them before as varsity before we even had a JV, so it may be the same people, may not. They probably just got seeded a little bit lower. We were a little bit lower seeded when we first started at NECC, so it makes sense that we're playing them now, but I don't recognize any of the names. It might be a whole new lineup for all I know.
Okay.
So how's y'all's day? Thanks, Scooby Poo. We're having a great day.
It's an enjoyable Thursday.
It's gonna be a late one.
Oh, for sure. First game starting at 8. We were supposed to start at 7, but technical difficulties from another school. The varsity team was supposed to play, set them back by an hour, if not more. So we went ahead and jumped over here to JV to get in the action.
Is JV like in a game right now? Doesn't look like it. They're still in that
Setting it up.
still in the setting up part, so hey, time will tell.
I'm excited to see what we get to play, what ECU picks. I'm excited to see what like their draft is, because they don't have Fearless, but over the last 2 weeks I've seen them play a few different things already.
Let me just turn that down a hair.
We can turn it off. Turn it down.
I'm not sure if our volume is just really loud or if that's really loud. I don't know. It was loud.
Loud noises.
Yeah. I couldn't be doing worse, Scooby. That's the I have $1 million. So just a little inside joke, but anytime somebody says something like unfortunate, like I don't know when this came up, but we came up with the I have $1 million to kind of ironically tip the scales of their misfortune for our fortune. I don't know. It's not as funny when I explain it, but it's funny to me, so that's what matters. When are we reddening up? I'm getting impatient. I've been sitting in this chair for too long. Sitting still without like at least watching something is mind numbing. I might go insane.
I know, pull up the YouTube shorts or something.
Oh, there's another game to play on Law Geo Guesser.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a blue buff if I ever seen it. That is, see if we can get the precise location. It's a little bit higher. Boom.
Lock it in.
Hey, that's pretty precise.
Did you get it?
Yep.
0.13 meters, yeah.
The green circle's like barely off.
That's
one of the new walls. It's like at the crest of a river. It's right here, I believe.
That's what I'm thinking. I agree. I think it's the entrance to top lane. But no, top lane, does it jut out more?
Actually, it might be a different one.
It's not bot side, right?
It may be.
Well, where else is bare? Where else is there dirt like that?
There's some kind of elevation difference right here, and that I'm inclined to believe it's somewhere in this general area.
It's either right here.
Ooh, maybe.
Or
I
it's
would
not
say
that there's bush there.
I would say it's right here, but there's no bush.
Right, and it's wider. That's why you just automatically think it's.
And like this one,
Yeah.
I don't think it's right there because it doesn't go straight down like the other one does.
It feels like that's like after attic. That's what's crazy.
Maybe.
It's not going into mid lane.
Not here. It's not here. It's a tough one actually. It's around one of the pits. I can see that much. But it's like circular enough to be a pit. It's one of the new walls, so it has to be. That's tough. That is actually really tough. Is it this wall right here? Hey, that's pretty close. I knew it was near one of the pits because it had like the circular terrain around it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's somewhere bot lane. That would be
behind a T1. It feels like. Well, yeah.
It might be mid actually. Could be somewhere right here because the braziers are like in the middle of one lane, so it's either right here or right here somewhere.
I feel like it could almost even be right here with how much it juts.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
How pointy it is.
Oh
no!
It was one of the inside lanes.
Yeah. Dang.
Waiting for y'all. They might honestly be on the.
It looks the same though.
Okay, there we go. We're jumping right into it. Looks like ECU is opening with a set ban.
Oh, I mean, great choice of ban.
Yeah, I mean their top laner looks to be like one of their higher ranked players anyway, so they're pretty balanced when it comes to ranks. So it's might be a bit tougher of a banning angle. Usually with ECU varsity, there's a little bit of a gap between some of their ranked players, so it's a little harder to ban. And New Mexico State Black opens with a Twitch ban. I think Chris has the highest mastery on any character out of any of them, so it's okay. It looks like they're jumping straight for their top laner's throat, trying to get as many picks out of the way as possible. I do believe it's fearless for them as well. So
no,
it's not for JV.
No.
Okay, so it's not. All right, so they're just trying to get as many picks out of that top laner's way as possible. I'm guessing since their ranks are pretty even, they're just looking for performance. I'm guessing their top laner was performing pretty darn well with at least these two champions.
Try to get him on something he's not as comfortable with, something that we might be able to handle a little bit better.
Yeah, they're both jumping for a certain player's throats right now. They're just banning Chris out because, again, he has the most playtime and experience out of anybody on JV right now. So he has the highest mastery on Twitch, on Zaya. So they're just trying to get as many picks out of his face as possible. And it looks like they're going for the Silas ban. As far as I know, great ban because of all the champions they play. They play champs with really good ults. So they just want Silas out of their face. Silas is also really good right now. He's still a little buggy since the recent changes they made, so good champ overall. And they're coming for Chris's throat with the Yunara ban. He picked up Yunara recently, so I guess they're just
he
insta-locking Caitlyn. I would too if they were triple banning ADC.
They're hovering. It's gonna be a Kaisa lock.
I love it. I love that we're first picking ADC here. Chris just has so many picks he could play here, so it's really hard to ban him out. But
he plays a lot of League.
Yeah, they're just trying to get his comfort out of the way, but he's pretty comfortable on a lot of ADCs. So given the fact that he didn't pick the Caitlyn, which is probably a more comfortable pick, I'm guessing they have something in mind for team comp here. Either that or they are chancing that their ADC may lock in something that's a bad matchup for Caitlyn. Either way, they got something planned here. So New Mexico's leading with the Echo pick. Whether jungle or mid, we don't know. We will try and stay updated on that.
It's a flex pick. Misfortune locked in. I know the Kaisa Misfortune that, and I've played a little bit of ACD. I know that, in the AC, the supports is what really matters in like the matchup. Like I see a Kaisa Nami lane, they're looking to farm, right?
That's going to be pretty hard to play into for them just in terms of just general poke.
Yes. Because
that pretty heavy poke lane, they're probably going to play something engagey, like Nautilus or something like that in response. But
yeah, healing characters generally do well against poke champions, right? Once they're able to just heal the poke back up. But in the late game, I favor Kaisa over Misfortune.
Yeah, Kaisa is going to be really strong. My guess is they're going to try and get that Misfortune fed pretty early on, just so they can lean more into the lethality snowball build. It looks like we are locking in a Lux mid.
Is that for Maya from Lux in the mid lane?
I'm not too familiar with Maya's champ pool, but I did see that she played Lux at some point or another. So I haven't seen a lot of how JV plays. So this is going to be really interesting for me to experience this in real time for the first time. I usually catch like the last few minutes of the stream after I'm about to head out, but looks like they are following up with a Swain. Could be support, could be mid, could be Echo jungle. I think that's kind of the point. Anytime that there is the opportunity to flex, they're usually in some kind of competitive setting, they're going to try and take it. So if there's a bad matchup down the way, they can just swap if necessary. So if two people on the team play the same champion, it's going to be easier for you to be able to switch if there's a bad matchup that gets locked in on the other side down the line.
I'm excited to see.
Looks like they neglected their other ban. Looks like we're leaning more for a jungle ban, which
we banned E.
Makes me inclined to say that it was a Jax ban. Okay, so that ban right here is Jax. So it looks like that will be Echo mid if they're banning E. I'm not sure if they're sure yet, so it's just a safe ban either way. Looks like they're banning Kled next. Oh yeah, I think. Oh, it's Kaysen. Kaysen plays Kled. I saw that on his champ pool.
Who's Kaysen? Top laner?
He will be the jungler, I believe.
Oh. Okay.
Unless they swapped at some point, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Kaysen will be the jungler. And he plays a lot of champions, so I guess it was really hard for them to really pin down what position Kaysen was playing in. Plays a lot of champions, a lot of roles, so he's pretty much everywhere.
Ornn.
Looks like they're locking in the Ornn top, which I am hoping and praying that Cole is reading my mind waves right now, and he's going to pick what I think he's going to pick.
You don't pick Cho'Gath here, do you?
What? Okay, that still a good pick. I appreciate the Dr. Mundo.
You thought he was going to play Cho'Gath?
I would have liked to see the Cho'Gath. He locks in that Mundo. Looks like we were playing for the Wukong jungle. This is a solid comp. I like this.
It's a lot of interference. If New Mexico State wants to group up onto that Swain and this ultimate, right. Hopefully Mundo and Wukong can wreak enough havoc on their grouped team to allow Lux and Nami to get some picks and allow Chris on this Kaisa to use the champion's mobility to secure the kills. That's what I want to see.
Oh, it looks like ECU's playing a ranked flex game. They're probably just. I think that the other team may have forfeited, and they're just trying to get practice in while they're here.
Varsity, yeah. Arkansas wasn't able to get one of their players logged in, so that's why we're over here on the junior varsity. They've locked in a Kazakh's jungle. Their comp doesn't have a whole lot of identity. I'm guessing that they're just trying to get some sneaky little skirmishes in like the river. Echo mid with the Kazakh jungle. Those two roaming around together.
Right.
You have Swain and Misfortune who can defend a tower for quite some time. Not a whole lot of the engages Ornn's ult. More like an anti-dive comp, but the thing is ECU doesn't really have a whole lot of dive. They have more of a set up front to back CC engage with Mundo Wukong. So if late game, I'm gonna say this right now. Late game, I like ECU's team comp. Because through the mid game, if Echo can reach Kaisa, if Kazakhs can reach Kaisa, it can be some problems for ECU. But if we can get to where Kaisa has enough items, Mundo's fed and tanky, Wukong can survive in and out, it'd be a good game.
Right, it's looking like it's going to be like a situation where the Ornn and the Swain, who are going to be scalers, are playing to just play safe, and when the opportunity arises, get their snowballers fed. Because the Kazakhs, Echo, Misfortune are going to be very feast or famine here into our comp. So we want to get those picks on those three and the other two, Ornn and Swain, don't want that to happen. So in those skirmishes, you're going to find Ornn and Swain roaming up to top or bot objectives, and you're going to see them trying to keep you off of those snowballers.
So Mundo will side lane. We'll be up to Echo and Kha'Zix and Ornn, I imagine, in the mid game to try and stop him.
Which is going to be very difficult to do if he gets enough gold to
buy health.
To get health.
Yeah.
Because you don't even really need to buy resistances, really, because Mundo is just so good with flat health. Yeah. Because every single ability he has scales off of flat health. So
and
not only are his scalings getting better as you upgrade his abilities, you're still gaining health passively, whether you have Warmogs or you have Overgrowth in your runes. You're going to be gaining health passively over the course of the whole game. So once you get scaled up, it's pretty darn tough to get killed.
And here's the thing, Nathan. I'm not seeing any health percentage damage from the champions kits on the side of New Mexico State. Right. None of them do extra health damage, percent damage from any of them.
Right.
None of them build Bork, the Blade of the Rune King.
Really, the only defense against Mundo is going to be Ornn, because his W does max percent health damage.
Okay.
So that's going to be really their only tool to shred him, other than just items being built on their side. But having to take away like a sustainability item into this very DPS heavy comp, you're going to get bursted pretty quickly into Kaisanami, Wukong Lux. So taking itemization away from that survivability is going to make it a lot harder for you to itemize that tank shred. And like you said, nobody in this comp really has max health items in their build path that are more comfortable. Kha'Zix, I suppose, has a Eclipse. Misfortune could go Eclipse, but that would be kind of awkward in her build path. So it's just going to be a matter of, can they get the items fast enough to do both?
Misfortune will get a Sorelda's, but nothing like Borg. I mean, Echo could build like a Leandra, like Swain or Echo. They could build a Morella's Nomicon.
Yeah.
Which has grievous wounds. They can build a
It does have
Andres.
It does have magic penetration on it now, so it used to not.
It's just interesting because as a ranked player, when Mundo's, he can be tough to deal with if you don't have or buy or proper means to deal with his pushing potential.
Right.
And just how outrageously tanky this character can get.
I will point out the fact that Riot has tried and failed numerous times to make Morella Nomicon a good item, because they've added so many different stats. They've adjusted it, they've changed the stats, they've changed the build path. It has just never been as good as its other counterparts. It's kind of like a little bit above the Chempunk Chainsword. I forget the name of it because I hardly build it. It is very, 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 very few champions use that item and use it well. So sometimes it's better to just go the Mortal Reminder. And it's just better for tanks and ADCs to be the ones on duty for Grievous instead of mages, because the item doesn't really do that much other than just flat stats for like the 90 AP, and I think it's 15 magic penetration. So the flat stats are there, but it's kind of lacking compared to the other Grievous items. So and on top of that, unless you have a champ that has like constant DPS like Brand or even Swain during team fights, you're not going to utilize that well. So it's usually better to leave that to the tanks and ADCs who can constantly apply that Grievous.
You don't really want to make your burst character have to build anti-heal.
There we go.
You want your burst character to build burst. Your top laners, your ADCs, your chemicals, your supports.
Right.
And even if ADC, a lot of times, your last whisper item, what's it called? The Mortal Reminder.
Right.
It's just like 100 gold more Then Lord Dom's. It's only 100 gold more for 5 more percentage of armor pin.
Right.
But you also get the additive of the Grievous wounds. So it's pretty good. It's pretty easy for ADCs to pick that item up 4th or 5th or 6th item, you know?
Right. Like we're just setting up some early vision here. I'm going to have to fight the urge to say that Kaysen is Connor because I'm used to seeing Connor on the Wukong. So if I misspeak and I don't address it, forgive me. Looks like we have the classic top laner skirmish going on here, where I've seen this with Coda a bunch, where he just sits his Mundo in this bush waiting for the first person to respond. And when they don't respond, or if they, he's going to have to take the long way around because I'm guessing at some point.
He doesn't want to eat 3 cleavers to get to the minions.
Yeah, because even at level 1, Dr. Mundo Q is basically on like 4-second cooldown. So that is way too high of value early, especially with how much max health damage he has, because Ornn has a pretty giant chunk of max health at the beginning of the game, just as base. So it's huge value for Mundo there since it scales off of max health.
Have you played the Ornn Mundo matchup?
Yes, it is really hard to kill the Mundo without help. It is possible though. In the level 4 spike, Ornn does win that because you see his W shredded him there.
Yeah.
So you need to play for getting any sort of ability haste. Like if you have a Kindle gem in your immediate build path or a Bombies, build that really early because you're going to want to play around your W CD there and get more use of that brittle.
On the Ornn, that is, I can see that.
Because he's boxing him up right now because that Mundo's power spike is a lot later than Ornn's.
Yeah.
Even though Ornn is a pretty hefty scaler.
He needs about 4 ruby crystals to walk up to lane.
Yes.
You know, it needs some couple of Mundo does great level 1, and then immediately after that level 1, like you might be able to hit level 2 first. But the odds are if you haven't poked them out level 1, you're not going to even kill them level 2. As Mundo here taking a tremendous amount of poke walking up to that wave. You're just looking to last hit, kind of wait for your jungle rotations at this point. Mundo feels comfortable level 6 with a...
Woo! Burning Ornn Flash. We're getting a little gritty here.
You would back it up. Ornn no mana. He's getting hungry, greedy for that kill, wanting to get that advantage. But as Mundo, even if you do die early, as long as you can get farm, you're in a good position.
Ooh, good bubble on
2-man knockup from the Nami. Kaisa following it up. King Twitch secure.
It looks like Kaysen is following up here. He will get on that Swain possibly.
Wukong here looking for the right moment. They're not going to tower dive. Looks like we're going to continue the
farm. Looks like Kha'Zix will show mid here. He's just looking for the perfect opportunity, looking for that wave to shove with just a little bit more so he can jump on the Lux there.
Still both crabs on the map. Kha'Zix not in the sight. Lux does not have vision there, but in a competitive game, you're just looking to get this farm right now. Both scuttle crabs on the map. Both junglers full cleared. The first, their Gromps have respawned. Wukong's there. His tempo's faster than Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix wasted some time there looking to gank Lux, who was playing safe right now. Our bot lane has priority in this position. We're pushed up. We're hitting the wave first. We've got the enemy team poked out. Right here.
Like Kha'Zix is looking to go for a bot gank here.
Yeah.
We do have a wave pushing into them, so we are vulnerable here. Swain does miss the hook. It looks like we were just playing for Chris to get out here. He has no sums up, and it looks like New Mexico will get that first blood.
Kha'Zix picks up the first blood onto the King Twitch here. Chris on the Kaisa. That won't deter him too much. He's resilient. He's going to come back to the lane looking to farm. I don't even think he lost the wave. I think Nami's able to hold the wave and freeze it there at tower for him. Lux, no mana, 200 health. The same with her opponent and Echo. They're both going to back. Kha'Zix here on the dragon with bot lane. They're going to lose their tempo here. Chris is going to come back to lane. He's going to pick up his tempo, get some vision with his W. The W lands. giving vision for Wukong. Kha'Zix caught it. He will not pursue. He's going to continue to farm his jungle. Horn bullying the Mundo off the wave. Mundo walks back up. He's got a little bit of regen here. They both went grasp and dying, so they're each going to be stacking health, right, and getting damage on their Q, right? Is that how that works?
Right, yeah. He will get a little bit of healing, a little bit of max health off of it, a little bit of magic damage. But that wave is pushing towards Cole now, so he should have a little bit of an advantage here. He just needs to last hit that and let it push towards him.
And get the mass amount of experience, soak that up. Try to get gold. Don't miss this cannon here. Ornn pushing him out, bullying him off that cannon. That's quite okay. Still a lot of minions there. It's froze. It's in his favor. Wukong pathing top here. The only thing on the top side of the map is that scuttle crap. His blue's spawning in 10 seconds. It pans, camera pans back down to bot, goes back to top. Ornn doing what Ornn does, breathing a little fire, getting some poke off. I know his wave clear isn't the best. It's not as good as Mundo's, right?
It's a little bit better at this point in the game, but Mundo's will get better as he gains more passive AD and his E scales with more max health, so he's going to be doing more damage to the caster minions by hitting the melee minions with his E, because it just pushes it back. So we do miss the Luxar there, but he'll be back up in a minute, so we're fine.
Such a short cooldown.
You can see it. You can already see that on the left side there. It's already a quarter of the way back.
Kha'Zix here, pinging the grubs that spawn in 30 seconds.
And he is looking for a mid gank here.
Looking for a pick on this Lux.
Might is a little dangerously close to that.
Trying to maybe give Kha'Zix an easier, secure the potential to grab the grubs.
I will applaud Kason here because he's just doing a very good job of being on the same side of the map as this Kha'Zix.
Staying farmed, out farming the Kha'Zix who got the first kill of the game, the only kill of the game.
It looks like Kha'Zix is just going grubs straight off of spawn.
Just straight to the grubs. Ornn does have priority here. Mundo full health, backs to the wave. Kha'Zix securing the first grub.
He early smited the first grub when Kason's camps weren't up. Looks like he will flash after that Kha'Zix. He might get a cheeky kill here.
Kill out of the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix gets away with a sliver of health.
They will trade flashes here.
He's going on with the void grubs. Okay, we had them reset.
Ornn burns his full kit on Wukong Club.
Mundo going to continue to push this wave out. Mundo just hitting level 8. He has somehow gotten a level lead on this Ornn.
A little bit in a vulnerable position right now for Cole, but they do back off of that. It looks like Kha'Zix is just going straight back for void grubs.
It has a one-track mind, this Kha'Zix, this dog, just one right back to the void grubs. Mundo landing a cleaver. It's starting to chunk. He's getting some health. Look down here in the bot lane. Misfortune all gets Kaisa to half health.
I don't know why it would take us back up there after an intense fight, but
pushes him off the wave. Misfortune.
We did burn our flash for that, but we traded pretty evenly, so I'd say that was a win in our book.
Kha'Zix he secured the void grubs. Not the biggest objective to lose.
Right.
Kha'Zix burned his flash in trade for our flash from the Wukong. Wukong still farmed. He's out farming this Kha'Zix, right? Top lane, Mundo with a significant CS lead on this Ornn. This Mundo's starting to stabilize from his weak early game. Lux a little bit down from this Echo. She's been pressured quite a bit here. Kaisa up in farm on the Misfortune, even while losing first blood to the Kha'Zix on the first death here. Beautiful combo from the Lux. Echo walks away from it. Not quite enough. Once they get gank set up, it'll be a good thing. But the great thing about that combo from Lux is she can do it again in 50 seconds.
Okay, somebody from New Mexico listening in right now, because he went for the early bombies, just like I was saying, and he's jumping straight into I'm guessing it's a Wormogs, because he's got the giant belt right there.
What's this? No, he'll be going for the Sunskla, right?
He does have R. He can just walk right out.
Mundo walking out. Mr. Walk him down.
Mundo goes where he pleases.
There's no statement that's ever been more true in League of Legends.
And hey, Cole's getting more comfortable throughout the game. He's hitting those Q bombs on that Ornn. I'm more than happy about it.
Oh, what's going on at Dragon?
At Dragon, we were trying to get a sneaky Dragon while Kha'Zix was top. Since he was on the other side of the map, that frees Kaysen up to go all the way for the drag. Bot it will be supporting him here. Kha'Zix isn't quite there yet. Nami might get caught here.
Swain uses their kit on Nami. Nami instantly heals it up. Nami's heals are big right now. You know, when a team fight does break out in the next few minutes, when Kai'Sa gets their first item, Kai'Sa gets their first item going for the Kraken Slayer.
Kaysen is in a very awkward spot right now. The full team has the opportunity to just collapse on him.
We'll have a skirmish here, small skirmish. They'll take out Wukong here. Echo, giving the kill to Echo. Kai'Sa and Nami still wanting to fight. Flash from the Swain ultimate. Kai'Sa here with the ultimate. Looks like the Kai'Sa will get away. They flash.
They burned 3 ultimates and 4 summoner spells for that. So honestly, it's still a worthwhile fight. We are a bit behind in gold now, but they did burn a lot to do that. So we should be having new opportunities open up in terms of ganks.
The only summoners up from New Mexico State are TP on Ornn, and Misfortune has their summoners. They have a 4-0 kill lead. They have a 2.6k gold lead. But I'm not counting ECU out yet. Just purely looking at farm, we're still pretty even, if not ahead, in all but one role.
Yeah, in terms of scaling, we will definitely outscale. We just need to get there. We need a good fight, a good skirmish. We need to get a couple picks where possible. I think that Kha'Zix is putting a little too much butter on his biscuits there. He's been trying some pretty daring stuff, and his team's been there to back him up. We just need to force him into a position where his team can't back him up and collapse on him there and collect that little 100 gold shutdown he has there.
I think once it comes time for Lux to group up with bot lane, and we kind of transition into this mid lane here in the next few minutes as tower plating's fall in the next minute, maybe Mundo's able to cause some pressure and able to get break free and push a lane, and they kind of group as 4. I think the Lux route onto Kha'Zix Echo is going to be huge.
The Kha'Zix will show top here. They did trade pretty evenly into that, so
Echo tower diving Lux in mid lane, Lux falling.
Dr. Mundo's shield is off, so, and he misses the brittle, so he probably won't have, he did have enough damage to get that Mundo down just on the Kha'Zix there, but Mundo, the Ornn did whiff that,
Let's rewind and catch the good side of the play in bot lane from ECU. Because while this was happening, ECU's picking up and killing down in bot lane. Rewind and see that again. Down in bot lane, yes.
We have a nice little fight going on here. Nami ult to get the Swain off.
It went all in for Nami. Nami uses her ult defensively. Kai'Sa picks the kill up on a Misfortune.
We will go 1-for-1 there, but it's just good that we're getting kills on Chris there.
That is true. He got some gold back. Nami picking up the experience from that wave. Lux going to push this out. Dragon's down. Rift Herald spawns pretty soon. We did get a kill. We're on the board. We got a kill on King Twitch on this Kai'Sa.
They did get the feats for the upgraded boots, I believe. Yes, they did, because they got the first turret in that little time period when we were rewinding. So
first turret, first 3 kills, and they did get it. They got 2 objectives. I know for a fact they got Void Grubs and the first dragon. Rift Herald spawns.
They are 5,000 gold up. ECU is down but not out.
They've got the Rift Herald to half health. Echo's here. Wukong's here. Bot lane's making their way mid. Lux is down in bot lane to defend that. Looks like they get Rift Herald, but maybe we get some kills here. See what happens. Wukong's going to walk to his jungle. New Mexico State does have some deep wards in ECU's jungle. Be looking forward to get a vision sweeper, maybe clear some of those out. Misfortune's going to capitalize on this tower here with Swain probably. Maybe Lux defends. See if we can clear this wave. Lands the max range root.
At this point, we just need to ult for damage to get them off and bait for something else because Kha'Zix is running straight down.
Brings the Rift Herald to the red
They
buff.
will catch the Kha'Zix out.
Great, I love to see this. Yes, they're overextended into our jungle, our red buff. Ultimate from Echo almost takes Wukong out. Flash from Wukong, Rocket Belt from Echo. He's chasing this Wukong.
He does rocket belt into the wall though, so the projectiles don't damage Kai'Sa too much.
Flash from King Twitch on Kai'Sa is going to take this Echo out. He's going to look to pick up this kill on Kha'Zix, and Misfortune steps up. If only they knew. If they had vision. Swain's real low. Orn's TP. Orn TP.
He does TP a little bit late though, so he's not going to get anything out of it. I do believe that was a wasted summoner spell. We just need somebody to contest him and contest him fast.
I can agree to that. I would have loved to seen the bot lane from ECU just clean all of them up there. They have the potential to do it. There's just no vision here. This wave pushing on here. Orn TP down to keep the pressure. Someone needs to respond. We're going to get mid tower, it looks like. Well, they're going to start pushing on it.
I don't think we'll have enough time for the minion wave to get there before their bot lane gets there. So we won't get a tower for a tower here. We will catch the wave that Orn is pushing through though. We are down, but that gold deficit is slowly increasing. I do believe that that fight, if anything, proved that we can get a pick there. Nami might get caught out here. Kaysen is there to respond to get her out.
Ornal to start the team fight. Swain coming in. Echo coming in. Wukong, his clone fell or he fell? He fell. The Wukong fell. Same time, Mundo got a tower in top lane. They're going to back. Dragon just spawned. Mundo's going to push for that T2. Try to even up. You can see the bounty on the objectives here on these towers and this dragon.
And Orn has no TP here, so if they wanted to make a play here, they could. It does not look like ECU is moving on it just yet.
4 men from New Mexico State secure the dragon pretty quick. The damage from the Kha'Zix and Misfortune and Echo. Echo's a quick objective taker, I believe.
Okay, they have a pretty even stat spread across the board. If they get even one of these shutdowns, it puts ECU back in the running.
Lux caught up on the CS from the early game.
Right.
Echo roaming around, picking up kills. Lux doing their best to get farm back up, get some items, make an impact here. Ooh, Kha'Zix with the Q, half health Lux. She shields up. She's just chasing her down.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do there as a Lux player when Kha'Zix jumps on you like that. Even if you do hit the root, he's got a flash or another jump. It's unfortunate to be caught, you're at your T2 farming in your own lane.
Right.
There's just the Kha'Zix that exists. Orn pushing back to that T2. Mundo was able to push that tower back, that full wave to their T2 tower. And now he's back down in bot lane getting some push there, some pressure. The Dragons are 2-1. The gold lead is a 3.5 plus 3.3. That's like almost 7K gold for New Mexico State. Nami gets caught in the combo of Swain, Misfortune. Unfortunate. Chris still there on this Kai'Sa to farm it up. Misfortune's hitting mighty hard right now.
Yeah, I will say Misfortune did play it well there. She was waiting for the Nami bubble to come out so that they knew that there wouldn't be any CC to cancel the Misfortune ult. So that really smart play by them. I will admit New Mexico State has a really good ADC.
They're playing well.
Credit is due.
They're playing very well. ECU getting a little bit out pressured on the map. A little bit. They're making better rotations to be able to push like this. We're not catching them out or capitalizing as well as we'd like to. Echo and Wukong meet in the jungle here. Echo with a 2-level lead on the Wukong.
He is running towards the ADC to get some extra peel there.
First 3 autos from that Kai'Sa chunked the Echo, forced him to ult as he runs away.
They are just trying to deathball the Kai'Sa here in this fight.
Kai'Sa picks up a kill, but will fall to the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is with 50 health. We're stacked on
capable of 1v3ing here.
If we stand in his ultimate, he is, but if we back up, Lux trying to get away from that ult, pulls the Lux in, gets the kill.
Swain at this point has
has Rylai's, and he's going to build into that Landry, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage in these team fights.
That's Lux carry, Misfortune support. No. Swain support 405. Largest bounty with his team of Kazakhs. Playing out of their minds with that Swain. Swain's playing really well, to be honest.
Right. With less gold potential as a support is the best person to have a shutdown on, because they're not doing as much with that gold as a normal laner would. So with him gaining a little bit less, that puts ECU at a greater chance to collect that shutdown and do more with it.
Shutting a Swain down with Kaisa is pretty hard, though. The only one that has enough range damage to kill him from outside of Swain's range is the Lux route.
Right.
And then hoping Mundo and Wukong are alive there to jump on him, right?
Right. It looks like we will be having a little bit of a hybrid Kaisa. Rageblade is in the build path there. We're going to be getting a little bit more AP damage, a little bit better poke on that Kaisa W. That chunked a lot of health. Do you see that?
Cleavers.
When that Q lands, it's chunking pretty much 800.
Kaza goes in. The Echo's there to back him up. Echo ults. They decide to go on this Wukong. Lux ultimate. Misfortune ultimate. The Swain was able to pick up the kill on Kaisa. Kha'Zix shuts down the Wukong here. We're going to back up into our towers here. Nami and Mundo together.
ECU's now down a little under 10k right now.
Nami catches the Swain out. Lux going to pick up the kill. Mundo
Big
gets
shut down on the Mundo.
Mundo gets killed by the Kha'Zix.
I would say that is a worthwhile death, though, because they got a lot less from that than we got from that, just based on the shutdown alone. Swain was worth a little bit less gold than a laner with that shutdown might have been, just because of stats alone.
At this point, 10k gold lead, 18 to 4 kills. Anything we get as far as any kind of fight or kill is good.
Right.
At this point in the game, any kind of objective. New Mexico State picking up this Atacon. No one from the side of ECU in the way. They're nowhere near able to contest. They're going to have to give up the third dragon here as well. They're pinging it. New Mexico State pinging this dragon. They're going to lock up their third dragon. What do you do as ECU? What do you do to try to win the game here?
You're going to look for anything you can. At this rate, you're just going to try and death ball whoever's on the side lane. Like, I know it's hard to kill an Ornn, but I do believe with the Q bombs that Cole was throwing, he will be able to shred him down at least enough for other members of the team to be able to finish him off. I do know that as time goes on, we will get more items on the Kaisa. We will get a little bit better tank shred. So the Swain and the Ornn will go down a bit easier. It's just the hard part is getting there, because usually one of those is accompanied by Kha'Zix is at least hovering nearby when somebody's sidelining, because Kha'Zix has claimed a couple kills on Cole when they were just having top lane skirmishes in that little island up there.
He didn't respect.
Because see, that's what's happening right now. Right as they start this top lane skirmish, this Ornn is comfortable because he knows that in the 20-minute fight that the Kha'Zix is going to have time to get up there.
Right. He's clearing towards him, so he knows it's okay to engage. Mundo backing off, and Wukong's on his side too. But if you're playing this, you know Kha'Zix is around.
Right.
Kha'Zix pops.
We'll be rotating to defend the Wukong here.
ECU ready for it. Can we pick up the kill on this Kha'Zix, or will he get away?
Too many people are rotating towards it. It's kind of a bad fight here.
Misfortune ultimate protects Kha'Zix. Lux ultimate.
Kha'Zix.
Huge ultimate from this Lux. Mundo goes in.
Mundo is ignited, but
Kaisa
he is gaining a bit more on that. Oh, Kaisa getting caught, has the barrier.
Kaisa
will die here.
Goes down. Echo picks up the strap.
Kind of a scuff fight at this rate. They just need to get out.
Ornn ultimate. Gonna be Wukong's gonna get away, hopefully. Won't be an ace.
He does get out here. He just needs to back immediately because they're just gonna go death ball straight mid. They will be able to end if he does not somehow get them off the wave.
Triple kill from this Misfortune.
Just big shutdowns all around. I'm not sure how big the shutdown was on the Kha'Zix. I'm sure it was massive.
It was around 600 gold.
So the fact we're getting anything right now is huge, but it looks like New Mexico will end this first one. 25-minute game, not bad. We are down 12,000 gold at the end, but we learned a lesson. We learned that we can fight these people in small skirmish spots. We can get picks like we did on that Kazakhs. We just have to repeat that formula and not make as many early mistakes as we did. So once we get our formula solidified and we get more picks early, we get better skirmishes in the river, we get more early objectives, so we're not losing feats. We will come back stronger, and this is just a good learning experience for us.
It's the first match of the best of 3, right?
We're gonna take a quick break. We have draft lull up. Looks like JV is going to take a quick break.
So some takeaways from the game, though, just from that first match right there, it's the best of first 3. New Mexico State won that pretty decidingly.
Right.
But you did notice from what ECU had potential to win. They had, like you said, to follow the formula better. There was things that like they could have done better that would have solidified the victory.
Right.
It's unfortunate when you play something like Kaiser like that. I know. Because like Kaiser can snowball and she can just jump all over everybody, and with her mobility just zoom around the back lines with her ultimate. But ECU wasn't able to group for objectives. They, like I said, I think the wave management from New Mexico State Black was a little bit better. Like, because Orn would have something pushed, and then Mundo or Lux would have to respond to a wave that was being pushed, or the Orn took towers by himself surprisingly fast.
Right. The Demolish just gets stronger as the game goes on. It has always been a good rune.
Yeah.
So to further expand on what you said, each laner on New Mexico State's side was pushing, and that was freeing up Kazakhs, whether it was intentional or not, or if Kazakhs was just reacting upon it. It was giving him an opportunity to trespass into Wukong's jungle, and at that point, there are easier rotates from the enemy team than for our team.
Right.
So when Wukong is catching Kazakhs in his jungle and has the perfect setup, shreds him using his R, there's not really much we can do. There's not much follow-up on our side because they have those waves pushed. They have pretty much all the tools they need to set up a skirmish and rotate faster than ECU does. So what we need to do is we need to focus more on wave clear and getting to those objectives faster and rotating and communicating in your call. I'm not sure what their voice comms are like. I haven't had the opportunity to sit in and see what they're talking about, but they need to be calming. Hey, I'm going here. I need you to hover. I need you to stay nearby so we can rotate if something goes wrong. So having multiple people there is what New Mexico State had in their favor. And I think that's what lost us the game in the long run, because we kept on losing small skirmishes and losing small pick battles in the jungle. And that gold lead just kept on building in their favor. And we just kept on losing more off of those jungle fights because the already ahead laners were just kind of spoon feeding each other and helping each other out. They had very good team play. I will give them that.
Yeah, I agree. ECU wasn't ever looking at these drafts. ECU might have a better, like, when Kazakhs gets caught out, we almost pick up the kill, but they're so far ahead that they're not able to like solidify the kill quick enough because of the gold difference. And ECU wasn't able to group based upon how much push that New Mexico got, right? And then Kazakhs picking up, being out, just taking those skirmish fights at all from watching that game. If ECU just never takes the skirmish and only shows up as a 4-man or a 5-man, they would probably fare a little bit better, right?
Right. And when Kaysen did do a good job of just reacting very well to where Kazakhs was on the map, he was tracking with him and clearing with him and ending up on the same side of the river as he was. So he would always be there to respond. It's just he never had the help he needed to make those skirmishes happen. So at that point, he just needed to get out and call it a day and react somewhere else on the other side of the map. But we are just biting off a little more than we can chew at some points in those fights. So what we need to work on is just getting those fights into working order before we start taking them as often as we need to. Because both teams are pretty scaly when it comes to wave clear. Like Kaisa's not going to be clearing waves actively early. Mundo isn't. Lux isn't. It's all dependent on how good you are, how many stats you have. So the sooner you get items, the better you're going to be able to clear waves. They got that a little sooner, so they were able to clear waves faster, push waves faster, respond to fights faster. So overall, we did lose a little bit more in terms of waves. So I think once we polish that up, we'll have more of a fighting chance next round. So stragglers come back in. But in terms of macro mechanics, we did really well because Cole was dancing around Orn's W. Orn, after like post 6, he didn't hit as many brittle autos as he could have because he wasn't getting that W off. Most of it came from his R in the later game, because in some of those clips you see him facing completely backwards because he's going on where Mundo was instead of where he will be. So Cole's doing a very good job bobbing and weaving there. Jason, incredible performance there, but he didn't quite have the stats to stat check them in the mid game. So he did really well. He performed really well mechanically. He just didn't quite have the damage or the stats to back it up at that point in the game.
It's just so tough.
Yeah, the bot lane was entirely just
It's
skill matchup and influence from elsewhere on the map.
I mean, the agency that Swain's ultimate carry, like when you look at the 3v3 here with the bot lane and the mid lane, he tossed the jungle of Kha'Zix and Wukong in there. The little 3v3 skirmish had more agency.
Right.
To make the play.
Did
That's
they
fine.
send it already? They
That's
did
why we
not.
play the game.
Hey, give us the draft link. We want it. All right, give me that. All right. While we are waiting there, I will step away for a quick moment.
This is a little break time. We want to pause it and put it on some tunes. Looking at the picks and bans, we just instantly ban out Ghost Swain and Kha'Zix. Mexico State still targeting Chris with the bans of Yunara, Zaya, and Twitch. They just definitely want him uncomfortable, not allowing him to play what he's most comfortable on. We picked the Mundo again. They picked the Akali. Akali does do health percentage damage, but Mundo's still Mundo. They locked the Garen in with the execute. Hopefully Mundo can heal more than not allow Garen to reach that threshold for the execute. Chris getting that Caitlyn pick in looks like this one.
You talk?
Yeah, sure. Hello.
Yeah, that's better. You guys were peeking earlier. It was making it sound funny.
Hey, how do I get a water? Is there any something?
I can give you one.
I appreciate it.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But if you get died anyway.
We ban the Yi. I believe that's Master Yi. And Kindred. Kindred's disgusting. They ban out the supports Seraphine. Caitlyn Seraphine, nasty poke. They take the Lux away from Maya. I know she's been practicing Annie. Kind of excited to see what she picks going into a Kali. New Mexico State's champions. Nico's a pretty difficult champion to play. Misfortune's easy. Garen's easy. Kali can be difficult landing that 3, her third ability. Landing that. The Q's kind of difficult knowing the spacing. Maya picking that Annie into Akali, I believe. Nico's support.
Pretty brave matchup.
Nico's kind of useless after 15 minutes, but oftentimes can get her team ahead enough in the first 15 minutes where they're able to win the game. But a lot of times, Nico has some issues because around the 15-minute mark, she's no longer tanky, so she just kind of insta-dies when she goes in.
The hard part about that mid matchup is just going to be who gets 6 first, because they both hit their big old power spike whenever they hit 6. So it's going to be a matter of who plays it better, I guess. I do believe Annie wins that matchup, but the Akali could be like wickedly cracked, and I have no idea.
This Viego pick, that's the jungle.
Okay, they did choose to abandon the top laner bans like they had last game, so this could very well prove to be a better strategy since they had more trouble with these picks the first game.
Just completely banning out the jungle, right?
Sejuani may prove to be a problem for their team fight. If Nico, Sejuani, Misfortune in the same comp is pretty dangerous, because once they hit if at any point Sejuani or Nico hits like a multiple person stun, the team fight is pretty much won for New Mexico State. So ECU is going to have to play pretty spread apart in order for that not to happen. So it's going to be a matter of very, very meticulous positioning during these fights.
Garen being one of the fastest top laners on foot if he goes phase rush. Mm-hmm. Just sprinting around, hitting crits, spinning on people. Chaos. When you throw in a Kali jumping around your back line, trying to position to where Nico can't use her ultimate on multiple people. Sejuani looking to, the ultimate on top of the Nico ultimate there.
Right.
And then ultimately Misfortune's going to look to as many people as she can.
And Akali's just going to clean up the stragglers if there are any.
But then again, from the side of ECU chasing down trying to get to this Annie or Caitlyn combo, you have to go through Mundo Rakan and Viego. And look, the team comp from New Mexico State Black they're not that tanky. Right?
Right. Garen can get tanky even with his like weird stride breaker ghost or what's the
Phantom Dancer,
that's the one. That weird build, he can still end up pretty tanky just because of his W giving him passive armor and magic resist.
Okay.
Their mid laner does like their roaming mage assassins. It can be a problem for bot lane. Rakan will have a bit better frontline peel for their team. I feel like they needed that last game, but
Nami's hard to play.
Nami is hard to play, especially into their comp last game. I will admit that was just a tough comp to play Nami into, but I do believe Rakan will be a little bit easier to get in and out of that team fight and feel for Chris a little better. I do think the issue with last game was Chris was being targeted a lot by the two assassins on the team, the Kazakhs and the Echo, so they were losing all their DPS from the get-go, and we were just slowly crumbling from front to back every time after that. So it's once Chris gets better peel, the CC from the Annie, having Tibbers there, the Viego Mundo there, Rakan, I do think this is going to be very, very Chris and Maya centered here in terms of just burst and DPS. The other three are just playing to play defense here. I do like the Viego here.
Yes.
It is a bit of a wild card. So if Viego does get ahead, that prove very beneficial for their team.
Of course.
And everybody jokes that if the enemy team gets ahead, just play Viego and you can turn into them because you gain their items as well. But
I don't think that's how that works.
You gain their items and their stats.
Does Viego do well from behind? That was my point.
He's very feast or famine sometimes. I'm used to playing with Connor where he's very feast.
Okay.
But
yeah, I can see that.
I do like Viego into their comp. I do believe that they can accomplish a lot with having Viego there for those skirmishes. I don't think he's as good of a ganker as Wukong is, but I'm excited to see what they do with it.
I feel like Diego's kind of like Yone in the sense, like, well, Yone can't. It's like you can't do anything on Yone until you get boots, but you can't really do anything on Yone until you get Bork. But you can't really do anything like control the game on Yone until you get Bork, boots, and Mortal Shield Bow. And then you're just like this nasty thrashing sustain monster, right? That pushes everything.
Right.
I guess Viego, like, you get Kraken Slayer and then boots, and then what else has he built?
Mastery check.
Looking at this mastery check, seeing the bot lanes are the most experienced on those champions there.
I do think having the range advantage into Misfortune will help a lot for their lane. Kaisa is kind of moderately ranged other than her W, so it was a little bit awkward effective range because they were trading pretty evenly. But I do think Chris will be able to get a bit better poke out of this than if he were to play Kaisa or something shorter range like Vayne.
I think Caitlyn, you want priority in bot lane, so hopefully they'll have to respect the Rakan knockup.
I just think Caitlyn's a better team fighter front to back, especially with good frontliners like Rakan, Viego, Mundo. So it'll just be a bit easier for Chris to stay out of harm's way into those assassins and give. So just the effective range will give more opportunities and more distance for the mage assassin like Akali or Echo to go. It'll keep Garen away. It'll keep Sejuani away. It'll keep those people away. That distance will just be for our frontliners to be bodies and tank any CC from Sejuani, block any abilities from Akali. Just even instead of defensive abilities like Rakani, you can just be a body to block things.
Right. And Caitlyn needs that.
Right.
And if she gets that in the mid game, and she's able to actually team fight in the mid game, they're pinging each other on the enemy team. I don't know what's going on here.
It's very common. I don't think they realize we can see what every side and chats, pings.
I don't know if they didn't mean to pick for Nico, or they're telling Nico to wake up, or
it's a good pick. It's like kind of kind flame. Both teams going for a 5-point here. Pretty standard stuff going on.
5-point.
Or actually, it's not 5-point. Everybody
What's a 5 point?
Okay, so 5 points will be you have somebody sitting here, somebody sitting here, somebody usually sitting here, and then the bot laner sitting here. So you're just covering all points of vision to your side of the map through the jungle. So if they try to invade, so kind of the standard invade strat is not to go through those 5 points. So typically, if you have a bot invade, they go around this way and away from vision and travel into tri-bush. So if their bot laners are sitting there, it's 5v2. You at least get summoner spells if you don't get a kill or more out of it.
Okay.
So just even trading is going to be the name of the game into Garen. They're both going to sustain like crazy late. So it's just a matter of how much better one farms over the other.
Who's better? Management of the waves, wave management?
Yeah, Garen will have the opportunity to push a little bit better than Mundo. That's just how Garen is, but...
Yeah, until 2 or 3 items, and it's just kind of...
I do think that both of them will just be perma top lane, trying to get lane prio over the other, because that's just the standard top lane battle at this rate. That's how he played that way as Ornn. He's going to play that way as Garen, because they both have pretty good sustain on both. So he's proved he'll do that with one, he'll do that with the other.
Yeah.
And what I do like about Caitlyn is when either support has the opportunity to roam, Caitlyn has very good self-heal because of her traps and her little backdash she does there. So as an ADC, that's just invaluable, especially if the support's not there and goes to roam to mid lane or something, but the jungle still wants to come to bot. Then that gives a few more opportunities for Caitlyn to get out and maybe get a little poke off on the jungler or the ADC, so either one has to back.
Looks like Sejuani's clear is just a little bit faster than this Viego's.
Yeah, Viego is a little bit slower of a clear early. It's honestly a really skillful thing to do to clear well on Viego, especially this early, because it's just a matter of the Q reset, auto reset, placing your E in the right place so it doesn't alert the entire map that you're there. So if Viego's E collides with any terrain, it wraps around that piece of terrain.
Okay.
So if you say, yeah, he's going up to Scuttle now, but say if you were on Krugs and you press E here and instead of pointing it down where it's just its own little pocket of mist, it wraps around this entire thing here, and if they have a ward here like they do, then they'll see, oh, Viego's bot. This is the most obvious gank setup ever.
Okay.
So it's just kind of a skill thing for Kaysen to not want to alert them at any point where he is. Because the more hidden Viego is, the better gank setup he has, but he is a very huge tell with his E if he misplays or misplaces that E against any form of terrain. So it's going to be hard. Because like right here, that if the wave was pushed to right here, that Garen will be able to see that through Fog of War. So it's just one of those things where
knowing where to use the abilities.
Yeah, it's the chant diff. You got to know where to place it, especially.
Landing the stun, but that range of that W can be deceptive sometimes while playing Annie.
Sometimes the effective range of if you have the ability indicators on, the effective range isn't always what that looks like. Like I know Thresh Q is one of those where it's a little bit further than the indicator says it is.
Yes.
It looks like we will get snagged by that Nico stun, but we will get some extra poke on it. Going pretty even there, maybe a little bit more in ECU's favor, which is what we like to see.
Trade. Yeah, ECU won that trade.
I say ECU's on the up and up. Looks like 4 men are going to take that dragon. I don't think ECU can contest it. We just need to go for other stuff on the other side of the map.
Viego doesn't really contest first dragon.
Yeah, we just need to push waves and back. He just needs to back and get his items. There's not much to be gained here.
Keep farming, set up for the other side of the map. Mundo has some push, looks like, in the top lane.
Yeah.
Bot lane's going to push now, knowing the dragon's down. But yeah, control shift Z.
There we go. Now it's...
Yeah.
Okay, so right now it looks like we have a pretty much an item advantage in the top lane. The Grievous will fit into Garen's build path with Mortal Reminder. I will say they look even in CS, but I have seen that they've zoned Chris off from a couple cannons, so they are a little bit down in gold. And that is pretty much ECU's gold deficit other than mid lane. Pretty even jungle, pretty even top. I do know that there will be more gold value that you get out of that giant spell. Okay, good flash on the Rakan there. It just misses the Nico there. Good setup, good execution. It does chunk them a little bit, so there is the opportunity to regank if they so choose. But Kaysen will back here, and he's probably going to be clearing top side, either looking for something mid or top here.
Rakan catching this Nico out a few times, getting the knockup.
Yeah, we're just getting comfortable on the Rakan W here. We're hitting at least one person every time. I can see the angle where they're trying to... Looks like we will pop timbers on the Akali.
I enjoy watching Annie be played.
I will say Akali is in execute range right now, so if she wanted to, she could just R in on the Annie there and have her dead. It's just the initial R is pretty darn close. Like, you have to be pretty close to do that initial R in order to get the recast with the execute on it. Sejuani will be setting up for a bot gank here. And it looks like ECU will get out. Nico does flash for the snare that just misses. Anyways, as I was saying, the initial R is pretty close, so you have to step into Annie's effective range to do that. And if the stun is up, you're pretty much dead under turret at that rate. Looks like Akali will be roaming up to the top lane because of that.
He used Smite to secure the first Void Grub. He's going to get poked up. You got a flash from Garen there?
Flash and Ignite from Garen.
He tried to steal that kill, I guess.
I do think that's worth the flash and Ignite and the R from all three. That's a lot of value that we just the ECU just gained from their little silly slip up or miscommunication. I don't know what that was. It was something. One thing about Mundo, he has to be very, very careful about Garen here. He has a deceptive amount of damage on his R. It's based on missing max health. Mm-hmm. And Mundo has a lot of missing max health, so it's going to be more on him than it would be on a squishy.
Well, more number-wise, but still percentage, right?
It's still percentage, but that number is going to be pretty darn large.
Yeah.
So he is very well want to engage with an execute threshold. Garen does not have Ignite for a little bit, so if he pops R, he can go past that execute threshold.
Pop him again. Hit it again. Oh, he hit that cannon. Never mind.
He did get that cannon. They are doing really well at trying to zone them off cannons. We have missed the first couple objectives here. We will have the opportunity later on to get some. It has been a very slow game so far. Only one kill across the board. We're only down 1,000 gold in total. We are definitely going to be looking to close that gap.
Sejuani in the mid lane, looking to gank this Annie. You know,
yeah,
Viego's on this side of the jungle. Garen pushing in.
Yeah, they're playing to make this just a harder game for Kaysen in general, because it's exactly like I was saying before their game. They're pushing lanes in advance so that they can prepare themselves for little skirmishes like this. So Garen can very much 1v2 here if he is one of them, but they're setting up for that by pushing lanes into the turret so they can walk into jungles and do this stuff. Right now, the Annie just needs to move and play for the team here. It looks like they will just be getting
they're
top five leaving. Mine just needs to move and help them here.
We need to group and stop this, or you must push the other side of the map.
We need to.
You can't just give this. This isn't allowed.
Because see, Akali is pushing that wave under turret so that she can do it again.
We just allow that. Because the support needs to roam there. Something needs to happen. But it just didn't. Rotations, I'm sure, will get better. It's 1-0, but we're down now 1,000k gold. I guess losing a blue buff and a grump not the end of the world. It's frustrating sometimes, I know, to have your jungle invaded like that. Calling going in under tower.
If she just got another Q off, she would have been able to CC her under a tower.
So close to that stun, right?
Right. And she had it fully stacked. I think she just needed to throw out another ability to get that stacked a little faster, but
That's the first time that Annie's died, though. 12 minutes in. Akali 2-0, the only kills on her team.
they just need to clear those pink wards and get out, because Sejuani is looking to play here.
In my mind, the later the game goes, the better for ECU. New Mexico State doesn't scale
That is a
very
dangerous
well.
place to be in. Chris is just trying to get that kill on the Nico, but they will survive there.
Unfortunate skirmish.
And they will get the feats of warfare off of that, which gives them full feats.
Great setup for the Misfortune Ultimate out of New Mexico State.
Yeah, that was the setup I was talking about pregame. They executed that perfectly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. But, like I said, the later this game goes, because if ECU can group, and because, like, Akali having to go in super late game, the more health that these characters get.
She died to Dragon.
Akali died to Dragon?
No, the Nico was too low and just died to Dragon instead of backing.
Wow. You don't see that every day.
Hey, it's happened before in ECU history, but
got a double kill from Misfortune. They're picking up their first item. Caitlyn picks up the Yuntao's. Annie, not quite on their first item. Looks everyone about to get their first items. There is like a slight gold advantage, right?
Right.
2.1k. Yeah, 3k.
In the long run, Yuntao will be a better item, just as long as the Caitlyn's allowed to stack it. She just needs to back up and be allowed to. At this rate, she just needs to favor autos instead of abilities, so she can just stack that up faster. But the Akali does have her lane pushed up just a little bit, so she can get enough vision in the jungle for when Kaysen comes back and clears his red. Whenever that's back up. And she's just achieved dominance over mid lane where she can just come and do that. Aaron with the flash ignite aura combo once again.
That phase rush popping there was that's why I'm laughing.
If it ain't broke, I guess.
Watching that Garen sprint around like that.
I think the Cole needed to pop aura a bit earlier there. I think he could have lived that, but it was just kind of too fast to react.
I agree. His health threshold just too low.
I do think that we just need to play for the long game here, farm up, and try our very hardest to get some skirmishes going, but right now we're just biting off more than we can chew. Oh, good kill on the Akali. Big shutdown.
Okay, Nico trying to pick something up. 1v1 this Annie with Tibbers out already.
I could tell, even though we could already see that the weird awkward outline was the Nico, but I could tell just by the awkward positioning that they weren't playing like a tank.
Flash from the Nico. Annie almost gets the kill. Smart. It ends up being a good play from the Nico as the Sejuani comes in to get the kill on the Annie. I thought Annie doesn't quite have enough damage there.
Yeah, the Sejuani has every opportunity right now to get a free Rift Herald here. Everybody on the map is just rotating the mid lane right now. Nico rotated, Garen rotated. It's not every day you see a Garen rotate from top lane, even after turret fell, because they'll just go straight back up and solo queue. But this Garen's at least a team player. He's rotating pretty well. And it looks like Dr. Mundo might be caught out. He does not have a turret to fall back to. Sejuani does miss her W there. And Kaysen's just fighting to stay in his jungle. We just allowed too much early, and now they have free reign to do whatever they want late. During that fight earlier when we were in this position, we just needed to send all three people, the Annie, Mundo, and Viego on the Garen and Sejuani there, because 3v2 we could have won that, especially with the peel for Mundo. There were a lot of missed opportunities there, but I do think it is still possible to come back from this. We do have a little bit of a larger gold deficit than we did by that point, but we are playing pretty scaly comps right here.
Viego and Annie here challenging the Rift Herald.
Garen will be in a position to rotate. Annie is in a very awkward position right now.
Sejuani goes in on this Annie with the Akali.
They will get a double kill here.
Garen runs this Viego down. Mundo still farming the wave.
Oh, while that's happening, a bot fight is going on. They will get a Nico R into Misfortune R combo, and that shreds Rakan and kills Caitlyn there. And that's what I was saying earlier. They pushed the wave all the way down to here so that they're in a position to rotate to this, and they've just been doing very well about wave management and preparation for different things. So it's working to ECU's detriment right now that they're not able to clear those waves as fast.
Right. Wave clear can win. Wave clear wins games.
I agree completely, because I like to play champions that have at least decent wave clear mid to late game, so that if I get ahead or if I'm behind, I can still CS well. I can still be an impact on the map.
Right.
So right now, the JV team is still a fairly new team. Even though we have some individually experienced players, we're still working on our identity as a team. We're still working on how to communicate with each other. They will just be walking straight into Kaysen's jungle. We do have people here to rotate this time. Kaysen will get caught by the stun. They will be playing to just get out here. Rakan is trying to peel for the Caitlyn, but he will get caught, so he's just going to get out. Burn 2 flash for it.
Almost saved Caitlyn's life.
They are burning a lot to get those picks, but oh, huge stun from Rakan there.
Great knockup.
We don't quite have the damage to follow up on it though, so it.
Andy's abilities on cooldown, not able to connect on the correct target. Unfortunate timing.
Right. I think it would have been a better bet to go for a Leandrius here, given how tanky and bruisery their team is. They just have a lot of max health that needs to be shredded, and we don't quite have the damage for it just yet. And they don't have a whole lot of MR, so it would be very effective if we had a Leandrius here. I don't think their team is squishy enough right now for the burst damage that we're building. Kaysen will fall in the jungle here. Mundo in kind of an awkward position. He's waiting for his team to follow up on him. He just needs to pop R early. Yes. Garen does not have R, but he does have the damage to completely kill him.
Rakan's able to save him. No one else here to do damage on the side of ECU.
Right. We just need to play for any kind of tank shred item. Maybe an LDR or a moral reminder from Chris there, but
damage is needed. I agree.
damage is in dire need right now. Any kind of armor penetration or magic penetration from either the Caitlyn or the Annie.
It's hard to just being down like this in League. A lot of the times can be frustrating.
Yeah, it's
like, what do you do? But in playing these games and playing them from behind, the better. Just the more you do it, the better you get at it. Right? If you don't let down, you don't get tilted, so to say. You always look at it from an angle of positive, how I can do better and what I need to do. Eventually, you won't have to play them anymore, and you'll be so comfortable that you'll end up winning more games. Right?
Right.
I know the varsity doesn't lose often, right?
We don't lose often. We like to take a path that every game we play is winnable, or at least winnable enough to keep trying. So we have played from behind quite a bit, but we usually just wait for the enemy to make a silly mistake and follow up from there.
Diego just missing on this call.
Yeah, we are kind of in an awkward spot right now.
We thought it was a 2-for-1, but it looks like it's a 4-for-2. But playing from behind, you have to do something crazy sometimes to try to regain that lead.
Right. It looks like we're trying to trade turrets here, but I think we just need to back because they get a lot more value from turrets there because they avoid grubs.
We got 900 gold there from that tower.
And the Nico Misfortune are just playing to stop backs from our side. So they're just going to chase them to the ends of the earth to make sure that they can't back.
Right. Just wasting their time, not letting them farm, regroup, maybe trying to catch somebody out of position.
Right. Right now they're just going to get a bunch out of it because they got 2 turrets and only one person committed to it. So if they grouped there, they genuinely might have been able to end or at least get one Nexus turret by the time that bot was able to back.
Garen now with 2.5 items completed.
He's just going to be a force to reckon with. He's going to be very fast in those team fights, so it's going to be a lot harder.
Even they're tied in farm. The top laners are tied in farm.
Yeah, it's just a matter of completed items at this rate. The kills and assists there, and he got solo turret gold from 2 different spots. So he's gonna have more item advantage there, and Aaron with an item advantage is a force to be reckoned with already. So
I didn't even know Sejuani picked up 5 kills, to be honest.
yeah, he has 3 items now.
Yes.
So he's just going to be able to jump on our Caitlyn. We're not going to be able to peel for her as well anymore, and that's going to be make these team fights really hard. And because they're pushing, they're able to rotate to this team fight.
We got a great...
Nico is there. We have a good angle. We have 4v3, but the Kali is here.
Almost every ultimate from the side of New Mexico State here, cleaning up ECU.
Yeah, we don't have enough damage or sustain to keep that fight going before the rest of their team gets there. So ECU does get ace.
It's very unfortunate.
This is JV. Yes, this is JV right now.
Anytime ECU wants to make a play, it appears that New Mexico State has kind of baited them in, where they have the fun police or the Avengers showing up to spoil their plans. It'll look like it's a 2v1, but the rest of the team for New Mexico State is waiting shortly behind to respond, and ECU just out of position, and that allowed New Mexico State to push and end the game. 21-1. The damage numbers pretty low all around, to be honest.
I will say that for Maya's build being as non-targeted towards their team as it was, it still did a lot of damage. They just ate it up though. By that point, they were way too fed, had way too many stats. They were eating that damage like it was nothing.
No one was there to help the Annie. I mean, when you look at the damage numbers, Annie did damage. Mundo did a bunch of damage fighting the Garen, but Garen got the slight lead.
Right.
And the Sejuani ran around a big old tank, just getting fed with this Annie. Just making quicker rotations from lane to lane, and in the jungle getting the picks on ECU. And then anytime ECU was ready to apply pressure, like, all right, we can get them now. I believe that if we can look at the vision score.
Yeah, we'd be able to do
that. Yeah, you can see that New Mexico State won the vision score, so like they were setting up more fights in their favor. Simple rotations, that's what a colleague does.
Place. Yeah, the total wards placed for our support was 3 over, but it's not a matter of how many placed, it's a matter of where they're placed. If you're placing your wards in high traffic areas, like if you're setting up for a skirmish and you're saying, oh, this is somewhere where they have been a bunch, we need to expect them there. You drop a ward down there, and so whenever they show up to rotate to that skirmish, we say, oh, we need to play out. So we CC who we can and run. So I think ECU just needs to get better at deciding what fights to take, and they need to reassess how far behind they are, how far ahead they are, and they need to reassess who's up, who's on this side of the map, who do we have vision on at this very moment. Because there were a lot of fights that we lost because we took a silly trade where we thought, oh, this is going to be an easy 2v1, 3v1, when in reality, they're using the tank to bait so they can get everybody else on the side of the map in one spot. So the tank, Sejuani here, is stalling long enough late game because she has Heartsteel and Enemy Despair. She's not easy to kill by any means.
Not at that point, especially with the Brambles vest.
Because we had an easy 4v2, but by that rate, we were so far behind we couldn't kill one person, and we couldn't kill the person that was hiding behind them. So even though we had the peel, we had the people there, we had the bodies, we just didn't have the damage. So we just need to reassess where we're at that current state of the game. Do we just need to sit back and clear waves? Do we need to be more proactive and looking for objectives? It just needs to be a total reassessment of where are we at right now and how do we get to where we want to be. So when we're looking for jungle objectives like that, we need to look at our timers. We need to say, hey, everyone hold tab. This is happening right here. This little bar on top of the screen right here. This objective is happening right now. This objective is spawning in however long. I am going to push a wave on my side of the map to free up time for my jungler to get there so we can all group to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you on this side of the map, push your wave up so that you can TP down and you have lane prio so that you can back and go back and not lose too much.
You know, last hitting the minions is like one of the most important things in the game. But a lot of times, once you get to mid game, a lot of times it's like you're just pushing the wave.
Yeah.
And you're getting the CS because you can push it and kill it. And crashing, I know a lot of time, being able to crash the wave into the enemy's tower sets up your ability to roam to objectives.
Right. So Akali was one of those where she was able to push that wave into our mid laner's face, even though Akali has notoriously bad wave clear, and he also has pretty bad wave clear early on, but she was still able to push that in because she has.
I think Sejuani's presence helped out a lot with that.
Yeah, Sejuani had a huge presence mid lane both games, and I think that
Nico as well. They both ganked Annie multiple times.
I think that was just kind of pushing us away in the direction from having mid to be able to rotate to any given objective, because we were losing drags and mid was pushed in, Akali was rotating to it. We were losing grubs and rift because mid was pushed in, Akali was rotating to it.
I feel like as a jungler, like staying hidden and off the map is great, but sometimes like you need to cover, like even sometimes lanes need to be covered.
Right.
I don't know. This is maybe I'm talking crazy. Because like I get pinged and people are mad at me in solo queue all the time. I'll push the mid lane out and then I'll run to the dragon as the jungler myself. You know, because my mid lane are just like, sometimes people are absent-minded of the objective of hand, or it's not even like on purpose, right? It's just kind of like they're not ready. They don't have the proper timings of, or know like a minute before dragon, you need to be trying to crash it into wave or stacking two waves to crash and then backing, grabbing a ward and then going there. That way you have like a good 20 seconds to kind of scout out and place vision and fight for vision,
right?
And then fight for the objective, right? That's an ideal scenario, correct?
Yeah.
But like, so in a lot of times there's picks, like a lot of dragons go for a pick, try to make it easier. But I think that's just like a general thing, right?
Yeah, but by that point in the game, they had enough wave clear where they could just insta clear, move to something, insta clear, move to this, insta clear, move to that. And it's just we don't have that wave clear late. And I don't think we had the communication early enough to say, hey, and honestly, if it's not second nature, it should at least be first nature to communicate that needs to happen. So it may not be at this rate, at this point in their state as a team, it may not be in their nature to consistently check like what's coming up and how can I strategically maneuver with my team across the map. So it's important for them. While they can't do it second nature right now, they need to learn to communicate to get there. So once they master the communication, I could tell that our ADC and support were always close, stuck together. Which is great. It's not necessarily bad if you're working for that. But we need to get to a place as a team where we can do that, where we can all move together like ADC and support are, because they were pretty much always together. They were pretty stuck like glue, and they were always peeling for each other, and that's great. But we need to get to a point where we can communicate like that as a team, or we get to a point where we're just doing that. We don't have to communicate that. We can still communicate, hey, this is happening, even though we already know that we're doing it. It's just sometimes it helps to have the verbal confirmation of what's going on and what you're contributing.
Giving, not giving, knowing power spikes.
Right.
It's just things that come with playing the game, right?
Right. And so in varsity, we like to communicate exactly what we're doing right at that moment. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
You kind of what's necessary comms, right?
Yeah, we were getting onto each other about silly comms the other day, even though we were winning. But
is that it for today? Asks Dribble 3000.
Yes, it is. It is it for today, Mr. Dribble 3000. I believe we are done, but
great.
We will be back tomorrow for varsity against Harding for the Great American Conference. So, pretty much to sum up, we need to get better communication. So, ECU is good mechanically, good individually. We just need to get better at working as a team. The just overall synergy of our team, communication, and all that. So we need to work on necessary comms and how to work better together in terms of wave management and where we are on each side of the map. So we have our notes, we have what we need to work on, and so we can move forward from here.
It was a great outing from New Mexico State, the opposing team. I can't deny that there's like team fights, but there wasn't a whole lot of team fights. They got a lot of kills.
Right.
But the damage numbers aren't very large. It's just because like the kills they got were so decisive with their movements and their rotations around the map and getting that it started early, that they were able to get that gold lead, and they were just able to rotate, take objectives. A lot of the objectives they were able to take, just picking up a kill or two, or taking the objective completely uncontested, right? They had a great outing. But that's not to say anything bad about ECU. It was a great performance as well.
Right.
Playing this game is very hard. Being able to pilot your characters is very hard. I'm not upset at the loss. I think they did great. It's always fun to watch the JV because varsity, when I watch them or commentate for varsity, I feel kind of spoiled because like they win a lot and they're like really good and win decisively. So it's like when the JV does win decisively, like, oh yeah, they played great. But then it's like they might not win or they might get beat kind of decisively, which league being such a snowbally game,
right? It's
kind of exciting. And it's like when they do lose, it's like being able to watch it and be like, oh, well, they try to think and come up with what they can do better. And then seeing, when you get to see their improvement, it's pretty fun.
Right. This is what I like to call a happy loss because, yeah, we lost it. It is disappointing in the long run, but in terms of our team state right now, we know what we need to work on. That is a great thing because some teams struggle with their identity. I've played against many a team who is very obviously struggling with their team identity. They're not sure who to play around, what to play around. So I can see it forming. I can see the cogs and the gears all clicking together. It's just waiting for that final shift where it all clicks into place. And once that happens, they will be a fully polished team because ECU varsity took a while to get there. Because when we first started, we were a little hard to watch sometimes. I kind of grimaced to look at our old highlights because we were a very messy, unpolished team, but with the substitution and addition of new members here and there, we found our team identity, even though we completely swapped a support. That is, we swapped an entire person, entirely different champ pool, and I'm surprised we are where we are now without that. I love Andy to death. I love his comms. I did not think we'd be able to do it without Ali, but we did. We've just found our identity. We found what we're good at, and Andy has been a wonderful addition to the team. His communications are phenomenal. Connor said that we are required to listen to everything he says. I believe that wholeheartedly, and he's just very proactive with his comments, and he's very useful with his information. He's everywhere on the map. It's just junior varsity needs to find that place. They need to find proactive. Any one of them can step up and do it, or all of them can step up and do it.
Having a shot caller, so to speak.
Yeah, having a shot caller, or just somebody who can listen to the shot caller. It's
back them up.
I admit, I will say this about me and Coda. We do play, and Brecken sometimes. We play kind of ego heavy, where we rely on our own skills rather than the team around us. That is kind of the top lane way, but we've been leaning more towards listening to our shot caller, and even though it could have been like bad calls, we listened and we followed up, and it worked out in our favor somehow. There was the game with Alawi where we thought it was a bad call, but we followed up on it anyway, and it turned out great. So this is just a lesson for junior varsity to learn from. I think they're shaping up for something great. This may have been a loss now, but it is setting them up for success in the future, because this is a great learning opportunity for every member of the team.
Right. Well, so they're in Division 7, right? And
right.
Our team is a bunch of irons and golds, or irons and bronze and silver.
Right.
Their team was nothing but golds, right? Effectively 3-4 divisions higher individually on their solo queue for some of their ranks.
Right.
I know our varsity is they're all emeralds, and they face they always have to even out the MMRs, kind of, right? So, like you said, when they're playing, like essentially they're playing this New Mexico State, New Mexico State team. They're obviously like a higher rated seed, I'd imagine. They're a little bit better of a team.
Yeah,
for their the solo performances, or the individual performances from the team players in ranked scenarios is better than the ECUs, right? So,
right,
by drastic. So just seeing ECU come together as a team, right? It's a team. It's not an individual team, right? Those are how those individuals play on any team, right?
Right.
So I don't know. You said watching them come together and, like, as they practice and get better, they can be just as good as varsity, right? It just takes another year or two, and then it's like, boom, they're there.
Yeah, you can be as good at your champ as you can be, but if you're a bad team player, that's tanking your whole team's status down. I'm a firm believer that rank doesn't matter within reason. Like, I do admit that if you have a team of good irons and you have a challenger, you're probably not going to win. But I have found that as long as a team plays well in conjunction with each other and have very good synergy with each other, they have the ability to beat people who are higher ranked. Varsity has done it before. We've had several master players and diamonds, and we have throttled them, collectively stomped on them. In some of those games, the individual performance may not have been to the status quo, but we worked well as a team to come back from that.
There you go.
So it's just a matter of getting junior varsity to the spot where they can do that. It doesn't matter how high their rank is of like one or two players or their collective rank. If you play better as a team and you found your identity, you can jump to the front of the ranks.
If it's a good game, someone's feeding. If it's a good game in league, someone's feeding.
Yeah,
But hopefully someone on each team is feeding, because those are the best games.
yeah, we've had some games that have been like
That's what
painfully even.
that's what comes to mind when you say, well, someone's individual performance might not have been the best,
Mhm.
but we still won. Well, the guy was feeding, but we still won because
Mhm.
their deaths were good deaths, or they showed up to fights and they made an impact, right?
Right.
Just because you don't carry every single game, because that's what solo queue does to you. It puts you in a mentality
Mhm.
that you have to carry every single game. But at the same time, best way to carry a game is with your team. You're gonna achieve so much more.
Right. There have been games where I have not been doing the greatest, but there have been fights, like say around a specific objective where their whole team's been there, and my team has gotten one person low enough that I can use Urgot Ultimate and execute them. And what Urgot Ultimate does, it shoots a projectile, and when they're below a certain health threshold, it pulls them back
35%.
in and executes them. But what that does is it creates like a giant circle that gives them the status effect fear, which pushes them from the champion that's giving it to them, so they run away. So what I have done sometimes is I have sacrificed myself for the greater team good to have a happy death by Ring somebody when I'm already low and just flashing behind their team so it pushes them into my team, gives them that extra second and a half where they can DPS them down and win the fight. So it's just a matter of finding your place on the team where you can contribute something. Even if your death contributes something, it is still something that can push your team in the right direction.
Yeah.
And if it takes playing Scion to learn that, then every member of the team needs a Scion boot camp.
Oh gosh. I don't know if I'm a Scion boot camp believer. The dude's bad tanky though. When he gets 4 items full build, it's insane. But that's any top laner. Any top laner with a max, like any top laner that's ahead by 2 or 3 levels and has a full build. That's why, I mean, that's insane, right?
I do think that everybody has their threshold of how well they can do individually, and sometimes it takes just a leap of something like picking up a new champ to get there. But I don't care how good they are right now. I care about how good they could be as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So what matters is just getting enough practice in as 5, finding out each other's like little knickknacks and traits that they do. So I think once we get there, we're good to go and we're season ready.
Well, I think that's about the end of the stream, right?
Seems like it.
That's good. It's good. JV did not come up with the victory, but there's some promises for the future. We'll be back tomorrow night, right? We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Yep, we'll be playing against Harding University, and I'm hoping for a clean sweep.
Oh yeah, always. I'm not going to be upset if I have to commentate for 3 games.
Hey, we've had our 3-game series. We've had a 5-game series before, and it's always so fun to just be so even that it's down to the last neck of it. And I'm just so happy with how far this program has grown. Like I've been here since before Cody was here, and it was literally just me and 4 other friends that basically started the league team. So it's crazy how much it's grown since then. We only had Valorant and Overwatch back then. So watching how much the league program has grown enough to have a second team is insane. So I'm excited for the future of this program. I'm excited for the future of the league team. I'm proud of where we are now.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. See you.